Welcome back to my views and news. Some news stories for you. Main news stories from the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Assassinations of government officials, prosperity party officials. Third assassination in the Amhara region, in a town where we have seen 3 attacks so far. 3 attacks on police officers, police buildings, 3 grenade attacks in the last 2 weeks or so, and assassination of a key man in Amhara region today. After that, curfew has been imposed. Details for you. Second was another journalist has fled Ethiopia. Journalists are being arrested. We know since last year, Amhara journalists accused of spreading hatred, supporting Amhara hardliner policies have been arrested. They are arrested, released. Arrested, released. Purpose is to scare them, to force them out of the country. Strategy is working. Several journalists have fled Ethiopia in the last 2 years or so. Thirdly was Eritrea, which once again voted against the US. 2 days ago at a UN forum, voting was held. Eritrea was one of 10 countries which voted against the US. Lastly was Sudan. Interesting statement from Sudanese military spokesperson. Brigadier General Nabil Abdullah is a spokesperson of Sudanese military. He is claiming that regional support is being provided to rapid support forces. Which countries in the region are supporting rapid support forces? Did Nabil Abdullah mention any names? Who could be likely supporters of rapid support forces who are supporting RSF? Firstly, viewers, security situation in the Amhara region deteriorating rapidly. Lawlessness. There is no rule of law, it seems. There is no government. Security, once security officials start being hit, it means that security apparatus has failed. If security officials are unable to protect themselves, it means they cannot protect others too. Basic task and responsibility of police, of security officials, is to protect people. If they are unable to protect themselves, it means that security structure is collapsing in the Amhara region. Assassination after assassination. First main assassination was of Girma Yeshitela, head of Amhara region's development wing, shot dead. His convoy ambushed in North Shore zone of the Amhara region. Government accused Fano fighters, Fano commanders mere vadajo bilate shigao. Fano fighters, Fano commanders denied their involvement. But most sources say Fano fighters against whom Girma Yeshitela was supporting military operation assassinated Girma Yeshitela. Then, just yesterday, in East Gojam, Dajan police chief and his deputy were assassinated. Apart from these 2 assassinations, we have seen several attacks on police stations, on houses of police officers, on government buildings in different zones of the Amhara region. 3 attacks on police stations, police offices in shore orbit in the last 1 month or so. Mostly grenades were thrown. Attack on police station in Marsa, in Waldia, in Sindh, in other parts of Amhara region as well. Now, third assassination. This morning, Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. local time, in broad daylight, Shorobit city, where a government official was killed. Abdo Hussain, head of security of Shorobit town, was assassinated on Tuesday morning. Broad daylight, close to his office. I think he was leaving his office when he was killed. Assassinated, obviously ambush. Pattern is the same. Same pattern when we saw Geremashtila killed. Same pattern when we saw Dajan police chief and his deputy killed. Fano factions, Fano backed fighters have adopted this policy. It's not a secret, by the way. They've been saying that those government officials which are backing operations against Fano, which are supporting this operation, they'll be held accountable. They've been warning Prosperity Party officials too. So that is why if these government officials are being assassinated, it shouldn't be a matter of surprise for people. Though Fano fighters are not acknowledging, they never claim responsibility for these assassinations. We have seen that. They never claimed responsibility for killing Grimeshtila or Dajan police chief or Abdo Hussain, but they are behind these assassinations. So it's difficult in the Amhara region now to oppose Fano factions, to support the government. If top security officials can be killed, you can imagine what is the overall security situation. Those who are unarmed, I mean, there are other government officials too, which are not members of security forces or member of security organizations. How can they survive? How can they oppose Fano fighters? If Fano fighters send a message to any Amhara government official, will he be able to go against the message can he refuse to comply with the message? No. If security officials can be assassinated, others can be killed easily. That is why lawlessness in the Amhara region, this operation against Fano is having repercussions. Repercussions for the members of security forces, members of police, members of regional government officials, members of Ethiopian National Defense Force. Yes, Fano fighters are dying too. We know that. We have been reporting that. Both sides losing lives. Meanwhile, now curfew has been imposed. Limited time curfew has been imposed in Shorobit because after the assassination of Abdo Hussain, main road passing through Shorobit has been closed. All traffic movement suspended. Curfew imposed, a temporary command post has been established. We know that there is already presence of Ethiopian National Defense Force in Shorobit. Ethiopian military tried to launch a major operation against Fano fighters in the vicinity of Shorobit towards Rasa. Operation could not be launched. Fano fighters still operating near Shorobit. We have seen this road closed several times in the past 2 months or so. Road closed now and curfew imposed for limited hours. Fano fighters have their presence in Shorobit, near Shorobit. Shorobit is in North Shore. So this is second assassination in one zone. In North Shore, Germashtla was assassinated. In North Shore, Abdo Hussain assassinated. In North Shore, both Oromo Amharas live. Sensitive region in terms, sensitive zone in terms of ethnic harmony. Ethiopian government will have to change tactics. Fano fighters are getting public support. At the same time, they are terrorizing those government officials who are supporting the operation against Fano. How can government officials work in this environment? It's difficult. Secondly, viewers, journalists are fleeing Ethiopia. Why? Because they are not allowed to work freely. They are told to follow state guidelines. They are not allowed to speak right freely, independently. Several journalists have fled Ethiopia in the last 2 years or so. During Tigray War too, we saw some journalists like a lady, a Tigrayan lady who had to flee Ethiopia, and several others too. Just a month ago, we saw that Abebe Bayao and Yassir Shamalis fled Ethiopia. Ethio Forum journalists who are now based abroad, continuing their videos on Ethio Forum from abroad. Now, another journalist has confirmed that he has left Ethiopia. His name is Misgan Zanabe, editor-in-chief of Fateh magazine. I think this is the same magazine which was founded by the Masgan Dasalin, another journalist arrested twice in the last 1 year or so. Mesgan also works for Fateh magazine reportedly. He has confirmed that he has left Ethiopia. These journalists are arrested. They are kept in conditions which are not suitable, which are frightening sometimes. They are tortured too, psychological torture, mental torture. Purpose is to frighten them, to scare them, to terrorize them that they should leave the country. So once they are out of prisons, they are left with no option but to leave the country. Abandon their work, say goodbye to journalism, or to toe state policy, or to flee the country. Most go silent. They wait for right time to leave the country and then they flee the country. That is what is happening in case of most Ethiopian journalists who are being arrested, who criticize the government. No one is allowed to raise questions about government. Having said that, yes, some journalists cross boundaries, spread hate. They should also be identified. People should not back their work. Thirdly, was Eritrea again voted against the US 2 days ago. Voting was held. Eritrea, one of the most vocal critics of US policies, and one of the staunch, most visible and staunch supporters of New World Order is Eritrea. President Afwerki, during his visits to China and Russia lately, spoke in detail in support of the establishment of a new world order. Eritrea wants curtailed US role in international relations. That is why it opposes US. It has been a victim of US-backed sanctions too. It said that US backed some groups like TPLF. Purpose was to weaken Eritrea. Voting was held to include US in UNESCO, to make US part of UNESCO. UN member countries voted, and 132 countries supported US membership of UNESCO. 10 countries opposed the membership. Eritrea is one of the 10 countries. China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, Palestine, Eritrea opposed US membership of UNESCO. US is a big contributor of funds for UNESCO. More than 20% of UNESCO expenditures, its budget will be met by US donations. That is why US membership counts, but not for Eritrea. Eritrea opposed US membership of UNESCO, reported. Lastly, viewers, Sudanese military is accusing regional players of supporting rapid support forces. Which regional players? Nabil Abdullah is Sudanese military's official spokesperson, and he talked to Al-Sharq Al-Awsat, a news outlet. And there he spoke about regional support for RSF. He claimed that this rapid support militia has regional support. A journalist asked about evidence. He said, no need of any evidence. Everyone knows. It's as clear as day that RSF has regional support. It's not as clear as day, by the way, though Sudanese military spokesperson says that it's as clear as the day, but it's not. He should have mentioned names of countries. So far we have seen two names. We have heard two names. Sudan refused to accept Kenya as head of an IGAD committee to mediate between General Al-Burhan and Hamdan Dagalo. And back then, if you remember, Sudanese foreign ministry said that rapid support forces had some backing from Kenya. So first regional player allegedly supporting rapid support forces, according to Sudanese military, Kenya. Second one, Central African Republic, or at least its soil is being used, because former UN Special Envoy to Sudan, Volker Perthes, had said that African fighters from different parts of West Africa, they were entering Sudan through Central African Republic to support rapid support forces. So CAR's soil was being used reportedly. Any other country supporting rapid support forces like Libya, Ethiopia, Eritrea? Obviously not Egypt. Egypt is supportive of Sudanese military. It's not clear, but Nabil says that it's as clear as the day. But I think Sudanese military should tell the people which countries are supporting rapid support forces, which type of support, military support, logistics support, diplomatic support. Just implying things sometimes does not work. Thank you for watching.